Donald Trump's blowout victory last night started with the battleground state of Florida. The Republican nominee won nearly 120,000 more votes than Hillary Clinton. Trump won 35% of Florida's Hispanic Latino vote. Let me try that again. 35%, just 4 points less than Mitt Romney in 2012, and all of the experts were wagging away their tongues, suggesting that because he had been tough on illegal immigration, that would translate to disaster with the Hispanic vote. They were wrong. Joining me now, the man who predicted a Trump victory in Florida Monday night on this broadcast, Blaise Ingoglia. He's the chairman of the Republican Party of Florida. He has a smile on his face tonight, and with good reason. First of all, I want to compliment you and congratulate you on the call, and also compliment you and congratulate you on the victory of the Republican Party, and in particular your nominee for president, none other than Donald Trump.
Well, thank you, Lou. It was a great night last night. We're very excited about the results.
And, you know, you had said to me and to the audience of this broadcast that you believe that as the night wore on, you would see, you didn't say for sure, but you said you believed you would see the Republican vote come in and overwhelm whatever the Democratic lead was. You turned out to be exactly right. Give us a sense of what you think led to the victory.
Well, when you look at the data, well, one thing I would say about people who are looking at the data, if you look at the data through the prism of the political establishment, you're going to come up with a political establishment answer. I was looking through the data. I was looking through the data through the prism of a frustrated American electorate that is frustrated with Washington, D.C. And the data was there. I just think some of the political establishment just refused to see it.
Yeah, and as you look across, as you canvass all of the pollsters, not all of the pollsters, but nearly all of the pollsters, it was conventional thinking on display in nearly every turn, with some exceptions. By the way, one of those exceptions was the polling of the Trump campaign itself. Kellyanne Conway, a terrific pollster herself, had found a way, a strategy, if you will, that left options open for Donald Trump to succeed to 270. The path that was ultimately followed, only she had anticipated, and no one else, at least in savant land, guru land, or pollster land, had thought about.
Yeah, and, you know, if we could talk about the actual results here for a second.
Sure.
I think what we saw last night, and dovetails into everything that we're talking about, is two things happened last night. Is one, like we said from the beginning, this was a referendum against the status quo, a referendum against a corrupt political establishment that is absolutely tone deaf to what everyday Americans really want. But this should also be viewed as a mandate to Republicans to govern the way you campaign and do what you say you're going to do. The voters told Republicans last night to be bold, to be unafraid, to stand up for what you believe in, and because good policy in what you're standing up to believe in also makes good politics, and the voters will get your back, and that's what I believe that we saw last night.
And all of those issues, of course, he identified, the president-elect identified, and campaigned on. He also campaigned against globalism, in favor of Americanism, in favor of sovereignty, not open borders, and control of our immigration system and control of those that we bring into this country, whether refugees or immigrants. And these are going to stand powerfully as issues in which he says it will always be determined with the bedrock, the foundation of America first. You've got to be excited about that.
We are excited about that. And look, I think that's one of the things that Donald Trump really tapped into with the American electorate, and he really tapped into in the state of Florida. All of the things that you have just outlined are problems that the federal government has created and has not been fixed for the last 30 years. And people just got tired of waiting around and listening to a lot of rhetoric, listening to hyperbole, and quite frankly, listening to excuses of Washington, D.C. for not fixing things. And they saw somebody who came along who said, you know what? I understand what's going on. I really get your point of view, and I'm going to fix it. And that totally resonated with the electorate last night. We saw that.
Blaise Ingoglia, you saw that. You also saw a victory for Donald Trump, one of the few in the great state of Florida, and of course throughout the great nation of the USA. Up next, thanks so much, Blaise.